Scientific naming conventions have a long and intricate history that spans centuries and continents. The way we name and classify organisms has evolved significantly over time, reflecting changes in scientific understanding and cultural perspectives. In the 18th century, Carl Linnaeus, a Swedish botanist, revolutionized the field by developing a systematic approach for classifying and naming organisms. His work laid the foundation for modern taxonomy. This system, known as binomial nomenclature, assigns each species a unique two-part Latin name. The use of Latin, a dead language, ensures that the names remained consistent and universally understood across different languages and regions. The first part of the name identifies the genus, a group of related species, while the second part, known as the specific epithet, distinguishes the individual species within that genus. This method brought a much-needed order and clarity to the study of life on Earth. By providing a standardized naming system, Linnaeus's work allowed scientists to communicate more effectively about different species, facilitating research and discovery. This system is still in use today, underscoring its lasting impact on the scientific community. However, the history of scientific naming is not without its controversies. The names given to plants and animals often reflected the biases and perspectives of the time. Many names were assigned by European explorers and colonists, who sometimes imposed their own cultural views on the natural world. These explorers frequently used names that described the plant's appearance, such as its color, shape, or size, or its geographic origin, indicating where the plant was first discovered or commonly found. While many of these names were purely descriptive, others were influenced by the social and political context of the time. Some names were based on offensive stereotypes or derogatory language, reflecting the prejudices of the era. In recent years, there has been a movement to re-evaluate and change these problematic names. Scientists and institutions are working to replace offensive or inappropriate names with ones that are more respectful and accurate, ensuring that the language of science evolves alongside our understanding of equality and diversity. The use of offensive language in plant names is harmful and unacceptable. Words have power. They shape our perceptions and attitudes. When a plant is given a name that is derogatory or offensive, it perpetuates negative stereotypes and reinforces systems of oppression. This is particularly damaging to marginalized communities who have historically been subjected to discrimination and violence. The use of such language in a scientific context is especially egregious. It suggests that these communities are not welcome or valued in the scientific community. The African coral tree, Erythrina caffra, is a striking example of a plant with an offensive name. This tree, with its vibrant and eye-catching appearance, stands out in the natural landscape. Its beauty, however, is marred by the controversy surrounding its name. This majestic tree is native to eastern South Africa, where it thrives in the warm climate and rich soil. The African coral tree plays a significant role in the local ecosystem, providing shelter and food for various species of birds and insects. It is known for its vibrant coral-colored flowers, which bloom in abundance during the spring. These flowers not only add a splash of color to the landscape, but also attract pollinators, contributing to the biodiversity of the region. However, the second part of its scientific name, caffra, is derived from an Arabic word for infidel. This term, though seemingly innocuous in its original context, has taken on a much darker connotation over time. This term has a long history of being used as a racial slur against black people in South Africa. The word caffra was used by colonialists and settlers to demean and dehumanize the indigenous population, embedding a legacy of prejudice and discrimination. The use of this word in the tree's scientific name is a painful reminder of the legacy of racism and apartheid in South Africa. It serves as a stark example of how language can perpetuate historical injustices and the importance of addressing these issues in our ongoing efforts towards reconciliation and healing. The African coral tree, while beautiful, carries with it a name that reflects a history of suffering and oppression, urging us to reflect on the power of words and the impact they have on our collective memory. Recognizing the need for change, scientists have begun the process of renaming plants with offensive names. This process is not without its challenges. Some argue that changing established names will cause confusion and disrupt scientific communication. Others contend that maintaining offensive names is even more disruptive and harmful. Despite these challenges, the scientific community is committed to finding solutions that promote inclusivity and respect. The renaming process typically involves consultations with experts in taxonomy, botany, and cultural sensitivity. Section 5. Scientific perspectives on renaming. Many prominent scientists have voiced their support for renaming plants with offensive names. This movement has gained momentum in recent years as the scientific community becomes more aware of the impact that language can have on inclusivity and diversity. They argue that it is essential for creating a more inclusive and welcoming scientific community. By addressing the names of plants that carry offensive or derogatory connotations, scientists hope to foster an environment where all individuals feel respected and valued. Dr. Berenbaum, a renowned entomologist, has stated that names have power, and we have a responsibility to use that power wisely. She has been a vocal advocate for the renaming initiative, highlighting the importance of language in shaping our perceptions and interactions. She believes that renaming plants is a small but important step towards addressing systemic racism in science. By changing the names of plants that have historically been associated with negative or harmful connotations, the scientific community can take a stand against discrimination and promote equality. Dr. Kiona Ogle, a plant biologist, has also spoken out in favor of renaming. She has emphasized the need for the scientific community to reflect the values of inclusivity and respect in all aspects of their work, including the language they use. She emphasizes that science should be a place where everyone feels welcome and respected regardless of their background or identity. Dr. Ogle believes that by taking steps to rename plants with offensive names, the scientific community can send a powerful message about their commitment to diversity and inclusion. The process of renaming plants involves careful consideration and collaboration among scientists. It requires a thorough understanding of the historical context of the names and the potential impact of the changes. This collaborative effort ensures that the new names are both scientifically accurate and culturally sensitive. As the movement for renaming plants continues to grow, it serves as a reminder of the power of language and the importance of creating a scientific community that is inclusive and respectful of all individuals. By addressing these issues, scientists are taking meaningful steps towards a more equitable and just future. Section 6. Guidelines for ethical naming practices. To prevent future instances of offensive naming, scientists are developing guidelines for ethical naming practices. These guidelines emphasize the importance of using names that are respectful, accurate, and culturally sensitive. They also encourage scientists to consult with communities who may be affected by the names they choose. For example, when naming a plant that is of cultural significance to an indigenous community, scientists should consult with that community to ensure that the name is appropriate and respectful. Section 7. Inclusivity attracting diverse scientists. Creating a more inclusive scientific community is not only about renaming plants, it is about dismantling systemic barriers that have historically excluded people of color, women, and other marginalized groups from science. This includes addressing issues such as bias in hiring and promotion, lack of access to mentorship and networking opportunities, and hostile work environments. By creating a more inclusive and equitable scientific community, we can attract a more diverse group of scientists. Section 8. Broader impacts of renaming on science. The decision to rename plants with offensive names has broader implications for the scientific community. It reflects a growing awareness of the importance of social justice and ethical considerations in scientific practice. It also highlights the role of science in shaping societal values and beliefs. By taking a stand against racism and discrimination, the scientific community is sending a powerful message that these issues will not be tolerated. Section 9. Renaming, a step towards reconciliation. Renaming plants with offensive names is an important step towards reconciliation with marginalized communities. It is an acknowledgement of the harm that has been caused by past practices. It is also a commitment to creating a more just and equitable future. By working together, we can create a world where everyone feels welcome and valued in the scientific community. Section 10. The power of language in shaping perceptions. The debate over renaming plants highlights the power of language in shaping our perceptions of the natural world. When we use language that is offensive or derogatory, we perpetuate negative stereotypes and reinforce systems of oppression. Conversely, when we use language that is respectful and inclusive, we create a more just and equitable world. Section 11. Conclusion. Towards a more inclusive scientific legacy. The renaming of plants with offensive names is a positive step towards creating a more inclusive and equitable scientific legacy. It is a reminder that science is a human endeavor, shaped by our values and beliefs. By embracing diversity and inclusivity, we can create a scientific community that reflects the full richness and diversity of the natural world.
So hit that subscribe button, ring the bell for notifications, and let's turn the page on a new adventure together. Get ready to experience books like never before, only on VBook 360. Like, comment, and share to support the channel and keep the video magic alive. Thank you for stopping by. And remember, every video has a story, and every story deserves to be shared. See you in the next video.